says, be strong. 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 1. Though thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Christ Yahushua. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. Verse 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. Verse 4. No man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen, him to be a soldier. And if a man also strive for masteries, yet he is not crowned, except he strive lawfully. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, all glory to Kol La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kodash. I give all praise, all honor, and all glory to Kol La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Ba'ashem Kodash. Double honor to the elders and to the apostles whom I like this truth from. Peace and salutation to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives, as well as their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and I brought up to listening and learning, Lord willingly. This is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribe to this truth to you. I say Shalom. So Brother Yahweh coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh. Hashem Yahushua, Yahweh meaning he is, he exists, or he to be. Hashem in Hazda, Hashem's name. Yahushua meaning he saves, or he delivers. True names of the Most High God and Son, who these people ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, but whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And this lesson is inspired by just the spiritual, because I know a lot going on, although I'm not amongst brothers. And that's truly the spirit. I used to think something, but now I see something. I understand what I can be talking about levels, because you're amongst certain individuals that may not be of the elect. So that's why one brother always say, the elder say, if you know, you know. So if it's meant for you to know, you will know it. You know what I'm saying? Just because you know the breakdown don't mean that you are the elect. And just because you in a camp don't mean you are the elect, Because ultimately it's going to boil down to your relationship and if you are chosen of the Most High. And this is not no fear video, but it should make you fear. Because there's a lot of fearful shit going on, right? But I ain't going to brag. I'm not trying to brag, but, and being honest or just being real. I watched a video earlier today. It was talking about, they said the frequency that vibrates much more higher than love is authenticity. Authenticity, meaning being genuinely being you, not the fake, like people be fake and fraudulent, hypocritical, actors, to get along, to fit in, to get things in this world, but to be, if you truly of the Lord, it's going to shine, like the brother did that video, let the light shine. And I did a response to it because the Daily Bread had the same verse that he quoted. So this the spirit, you know what I'm saying? And then today the Lord hit me with the whole about demons, because I saw this video and a brother made a video about, the demons. You know what I'm saying? Because right now the Lord got Satan, or allowing Satan to turn up. I'm going through some shit right now, and I'm trying to not talk about it so much, because most men literally, take some shit to their grave. And it's a whole bunch of shit I'm going to take to the grave. But a lot, I also know this. My brother used to have this saying. He said, pressure bust pipes. If you can't talk to your friends, who can you talk to? That's why Yahweh Shah had friends. You get what I'm saying? Just imagine if you are of the elect, the Lord said he going to sup with you like you his friend. Your friend are more intimate than anybody else. Just imagine the king had friends. So, like if you ever watch Game of Thrones, Robert was the king, but his friend was Ned Stark, which was a king in his own right, because he ruled a whole area. But he was under Robert. But they was friends first before they was kings and shit. So he didn't look at him the same way as he looked at everybody else. Or he could allow him to get away with shit. Like, he would never disrespect him in front of anybody, but he would talk shit with him when people wasn't around. That's a great show, man. That dude can write his head. And you know what? I think he's Scottish. R.R. Martin, George R.R. Martin, he loved nigga women too. He got a picture with like 30 nigga women. And they smiling, he smiling. You know, he funny as fuck. But saying all that to say this, things are extremely turning up, you know. But we ain't even seen Nathan yet. You know, like the brothers going into that Indiana situation. Jake, that shit going over Jake here. People, I see what it's a spell out here to keep people just blinded to what's really gonna matter. I was talking about love people. I love getting this money. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. I'm grateful. Trust me, the Lord know my heart. I ain't got to explain shit to nobody. You know what I mean? Who are you? Like the elder said, who are you? When you ain't even walking my footsteps or none of that shit. Yeah, I made poor decisions, but I'm sure we all have. What I'm saying is that's why I'm not condemning nobody. I'm just being truthful. Like, what the fuck? And again, everybody gonna make moves based on what they, you should make your moves based on the scriptures. That's why I would never want the heavy crown. What he say on Departed? He said, heavy is the crown. But that comes from Shakespeare. Heavy is the crown of the king, and you got people wanting it and don't really understand what comes with it. And they show you that in Game of Thrones. But I always reference, I never paid attention, but I'm mimicking the brother. One brother used to always do that. And I would listen to it, but not really be listening. But then I realized I catch myself doing it. And that's just the spirit, though. I pray for that brother, his household, and all that. You know what I mean? Like, again, it's something that demon said. What's that nigga name? 607 Unc. He did a video. I don't know if it was staged or what, but he was talking to these young Jakes, young YNs, right? Or YNs. But he said some real shit to him. He said, they asked him, well, have you ever been in a situation you saw your ops or you got angry and was about to do something to your ops? And he said, no, because he said, anything that happened to me, I did to myself. Now, that's not true because the Lord orders the steps of men. What's that? Proverbs 21. The king's heart is in the hands of the Lord. The Lord directs us. That's why, you're a spirit and a body. That's why the scriptures tell you that the Most High God is the Father of spirits. In the book of Job, it talks about he sealeth your instruction while you sleep. So everything you do is already pre-programmed. And they about to, they try to pre-program you. Why you think they want to put something inside you? The fuck? Because this man trying to be the Most High on the left-hand side. But that's for another day, you know what I mean? Like, I'm in the spirit to a degree. But I saw a hell of a video. And he a Christian. But yeah, I utilize, like the elder said, and I really believe the elder powerful. Because the elder will take some shit that we'll get mad about, and he'll use it to fuel his drive to keep pushing. Like, somebody made mention about how they talk about niggas and watermelon. He was like, yeah, I like watermelon. Watermelon good for you. He was like, I was eating the yellow watermelon. I was like, he funny. He was funny, though. Because you got to learn to do that shit. It's an art where you use the other person's force. Like, they come at you, but you utilize their force to fuck them up. I forgot what that is. That might be jujitsu. No, it ain't jujitsu. It's something. Certain things, I would have liked to learn that Jeet Kune Do, though. The Bruce Lee art. But Salakia, that's neither here nor there. I saw a video, and he's a Christian, but he say something very powerful. I'm going to play it 3 times to make it seal in. Because what brothers say, you repeat something 3 times, and usually that's when most people pick it up. So I'm going to play this copyright, and then before I was about to do this video, some bullshit happened. I'm like, these motherfuckers the devil. But the Lord so cold called, he let me see that I was around demons. I came and told my little Eve, like, yeah, the devil here. You know what I mean? I don't know if she remember that shit or not, but I do. I was like, I ain't never went through this much shit with no. I'm like, what? Like, but that's just condition of the battle. This is a condition of the battle. So it's to the point now, I see why the brother made that video, stand the man the fuck up. We to the point you can't keep on having that weak ass nature of, because he made a statement. He said, real men whining. Or he said, real man crying out, women crying out, weak ass men crying out. But it gets to the point that you got to just push through all that shit. The scriptures talk about press towards the mark, which is that crown. We all fighting to receive a crown, man. I know I am. Fuck a female for real. You know what I mean? Because again, with power comes females. And like the brother said, usually they females. Now, if you got a good woman, I got a good woman around me for the most part, but we got to fight the demons that jump on them. You know, a helpmate's supposed to be a helpmate. They're supposed to fucking help you. So again, if they helping you, then that's a good as you gonna get on this side, right? You know what I'm saying? It's never gonna be exactly the way you want, and I realize that. I could write a whole fucking book, man. I don't know if anybody gonna buy it, but nevertheless, I know I got shit to say. So, but the thing is, like the elders say, do it got some dynamo behind it? Do it got some power behind it? Is it worth listening to? So I'm gonna play this copyright disclaimer. Then I'm gonna play this video 3 times, and then come out with these scriptures on rapid fire like I got a switch. And I ain't got no motherfucking switch for Esau that's listening. Nigga, what the brother do the video. That's a goddamn shame. They hanging us, but we gotta make and say shit like this. Oh no, we ain't doing nothing wrong. Nigga, you watching us. You know we ain't doing nothing wrong. The fuck? You watching us. You watching it like literally we all being watched. Nigga, we all got phones and cameras and being tracked. The flock camera shit is even worse now because they could track you from state to state. Motherfuckers ain't even up on none of this shit, but they think they know some shit though. They hip to us or something. Nigga, that's why I said, if you can't keep up, but again, that is humble to see that this man ain't on your level. But, you know, and I heard one elder say something about the beloved elder apostle, and, you know, as much as people be like, that's the temper, and he got a temper and all that. No, sometimes things be the spirit, you know. The thing is discerning what's the spirit or not, you know, because again, man is a respecter of persons. And I seen that first and foremost, firsthand. So without further ado, probably gonna try to strike me with this. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976.
Famous in hell. You may not understand that. Famous in hell. You may not understand that yet, but you will in a moment. I want every time I pray, demons.
Again, he's sounding good, but I'm looking at him, long hair, lined up. But it's the message he sent, because it is like the elder said, these Christians lightweight help us because he inspired me to do this lesson. And this is a deep thing, what he just said. So the Lord can use any vessel, and that's the point. You know, you got individuals that got demons on them and don't realize they being demons to you. And the Lord said it's gonna please him to pretty much how it go? Damn. It's on the tip of my tongue, but basically those that trouble you. He gonna basically avenge you for those that troubled you. Long as you stay true to him. So that's what I say, the most powerful weapon we got, we know the man. You know how in the streets they be like, nigga, this the man. Like Memphis Bleak made a statement about Jay-Z, and they was like, oh damn, you next to the man. They was like getting up the number. He like, I'm not giving up the number. And I can equate that to the truth. I'm not giving up my oil. You know what I'm saying? That squirrel keep coming around. That's deep. I've seen that before, but you know, I'm a little hood boy, a hood baby. So we used to watch. we had a street called the Zoo. So you know, they would feed the raccoons. Like yeah, niggas is weird, but niggas ain't though. You know what I'm saying? Like everything got a purpose. And niggas be content with some crackers and a woman and something to drink. You know what I mean? Like niggas, but again, they waging warfare against your people right now, and most niggas don't care. It's gonna be you gonna have, and like the brother said, just because you got some kind of physical help doesn't mean you gonna need spiritual help. I don't give a fuck if you Rambo's first cousin on it, because Rambo, if you ever knew in that movie, Rambo was a Gadite. That's why he used the bow. You don't know.
Back to the enemy. He's back at it again. He's back at his prayer table again. He's back back in his word again. He's back worshiping and praising again. And they be confused because they understand enough. We threw everything we had at him. I want every time I get into my prayer closet, demons tremble. I want my name famous in hell. You may not understand that yet, but you...
Also, to interject, it's no physical hell. There's no place that we're going to burn forever. There is a spiritual realm, though, where the Heavenly Father pretty much has both the right-hand angels and the left-hand angels, and they basically take you through the different trials and tribulations. Well, the left-hand ones do. The right-hand ones come to preserve and save you. They're your helpers. And, you know, they hold you up, they build you up, they keep you up. The left-hand ones test you, and that's proven that. I don't feel like getting it. I think it's like second when basically what's his name? The one prophet Micaiah or Michael. It was like Michael though, and he you know who was it? Ahab. He was like, I don't want to hear prophesy, because every time he prophesied, he say something that's got something to say bad about me, and he kept on lying at first because he didn't want to deal with it either. Until finally he was like, I told you to tell the truth. Now the king demanded it. And because the king demanded it, that's what made him go into the spirit. When he went into the spirit, I seen the whole host of heaven. He said, I seen the angels on the left and on the right. And it was a left-hand angel that came to do the bidding of the Heavenly Father that actually affected Ahab. And that's basically leading up to his death. The Lord cold, man. I'm going to play this 2 more times. Get out the scriptures. So like for giving me something to actually like bring out. And like I said, right prior to this, some good shit happened, but that's Satan fucking with me. That's how you know Satan really fucking with us. And it's gonna only intensify. So get locked in, brothers. Because again, you got niggas that's talking about they know this, they hip to that, got their ear to the street. They don't even know. They plan on doing what's going on. Niggas don't even know how Michael Jackson was a nigga. You know how bad Gary, Indiana is? Gary, Indiana is across the water from Chicago. If Chicago niggas bad, what you think these Indiana niggas is?
In a moment,
don't get me wrong. Niggas talk about Cleveland niggas. But, you know, it's certain shit above certain people pay. But, you know, just imagine a whole culture of we killing each other. You know, a death angel really being in the city. Yeah, we all experience death and know people that died and know gangsters and all that shit. I'm talking about, just imagine that the Lord just got a death angel just killing motherfuckers. That's in California and that's in Chicago. Right. They call it Chirac for a reason. You know, the Lord got all the tribes fucking each other up out there. You had Jake fucking up Jake. Then it got to the point where Northern King got involved. We own all this. You get what I'm saying? That's all spiritual. When the true enemy is literally dogging both Northern and Southern Kingdom.
Every time I pray, demons go back to the enemy. He's back at it again. He's back at his prayer table again. He's back in his word again. He's back worshiping and praising again. And they be confused because they understand enough. We threw everything we had at him. I want every time I get into my prayer closet, demons tremble. I want my name famous in hell. You may not understand that yet, but you will in a moment. I want every time I pray, demons go back to the enemy. He's back.
See, the thing is this with these, you know, Christian pastors, they more of a thespians. You know what I'm saying? They know how to speak well. They know how to captivate a crowd. You know what I mean? They actors, man. Like that's why they amass his fortunes like that. The true man of the Lord, like the elder said, is hated. The fuck? People hate a true man of the Lord because most people literally don't want to hear the doom. You know, I looked up Harbinger of the Doom, and when you look that up, you know, in storytelling, a Harbinger of Doom usually is destroyed with the doom.
At it again. He's back at his prayer table again. He's back in his word again. He's back worshiping and praising again. And they be confused because they understand enough. We threw everything we had at him. I want every time I get into my prayer closet, demons tremble. I want my name famous.
I hope Hocab trembling. Well, he probably he ain't trembling. He eating. Fat ass motherfucker. And the thing is this: whatever I do, again, I don't know if brothers doing it out of love, kindness, or just want a topic. Don't make me the topic. Make your old salvation the topic. I ain't being an asshole. It's just you ain't giving a fuck about me for real. You just because again, I know nobody want to switch place. Let's switch. If you gave a fuck, switch places with me. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10. Satan is intensifying his attacks because we at the end. So buckle your seatbelt. He said, tighten up, buttercup. Tough, or they say toughen up, buttercup. This shit about to get bumpy. This is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 3. And it reads, For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. Verse 4, For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. And, America, Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, is a stronghold. Spiritually and physically. But they losing their physical might because they losing a war to a country that's literally not a superpower. Right. This is a small little place that's actually, they say that America pretty much lost. They don't have any missiles. They don't have any munitions. But they already got it set up to have these car companies, Ford and Chevy and all these different manufacturing plants to build the munitions. So when niggas out of work, if you lucky to get a job, or is it luck? You know what I mean? Like, we trust in the Lord gonna feed us. Like literally, like they gonna, just like during World War II. And then that's how they tricked everybody. Back in the day when Esau started this place, the man could go to work, the woman could watch the children, and life was great. That was the American dream. Trump is in office and white people angry. I was working at a job where the white people saying we all niggas. And when I heard them say it, I said, you better not call me no nigga. These niggas let them call it. The nigga wouldn't take me back. It said, For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. Verse 5, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High. And this world this is the most anti-Messiah place ever in history. You know what I mean? Like, this is the only place where the scriptures tell you a particular thing, but they'll go against it. But then they'll tell you, we the authority about the Bible. The Bible tells you that a woman should not pretty much compass a man. A woman pretty much shouldn't preach. Yet and still this place exalts that. The Bible says a man should be with a man and a woman should be with a woman. This place exalts that. But then they tell you, we've got the understanding of the Bible. See, we follow the laws in this place. They say don't run red lights. Don't drink and drive. Don't steal, rob, kill, murder, all these different things. But then it's gonna get to a point that the scriptures say, that who should we obey? God or man? And we gotta obey the Most High God if you're a true follower of the Most High God. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Mashiach. If you thinking that there's no Messiah, that nobody, especially if you're if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Asian, it's literally showing you that this, you fell a victim to this system. They hanging niggas again. That part. Close her door. No, it was the point of her being in the room. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. So that's why you gotta always be locked into this truth. You know, again, I would be surprised if Satan ain't doing. Satan is the prince of the power of the air. So it moves through airwaves. Who control the air? So-called white man. In order to be able to be a pilot, to fly a plane, you got to literally know how to speak English, no matter what nationality you are. Now, take that times 12,000 and go into the airwaves of the internet and motherfucking the radio. And yeah, they motherfucker control all this. So yeah, he listening. Be so, right, be vigilant. Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about seeking whom he may devour. And if you let him devour you, you wasn't a part of this. The Lord, and I see why Jake said what they said. You know, the scariest part about the truth is you got to really follow the Lamb wherever way he bring you. You got to be willing to accept whatever the fuck you lose, what happens, all that. And the apostles was willing to do that. It's the book of Ephesians chapter 6, starting at verse 9. This is a good chapter. It says, Ephesians 6 and 9, and ye masters do the same things unto them, for bearing threatening, knowing that your master also in heaven, neither is there respect of persons with him. Because you could have authority over somebody, and that show you that. I forgot the parable, but it was talking about the rich man. Or it was a man that pretty much loaned somebody some money, but he owed somebody some money, and the rich man forgave him, but did the person that owed him, he put the utmost judgment on him. And then pretty much the Lord had to come back. And that's kind of funny. You know, the Lord, because again, yeah, this world will dumb your ass down, man. Like, again, I got a chance to be around brothers that had a different type of frequency. Like, when you take time to think about it, even me not being around brothers, I'm faster than a lot of these people. Like, these people do not have no clue what the fuck going on. So when everybody know the punch that you don't see is the one to knock you out. Or you should know if you know anything about fighting. So, again, they got these people in Gary. Them niggas is going to be different. They're not going to be the regular people they was after that. Can you understand they have no electricity, so therefore they can't wash their ass. They can't, you know how miserable they is? And that's judgment of the Lord. I'm going to do that my video when I go out there. Because I like the angry shit. You know what I'm saying? The brother always, and I'm not taking away from that brother. You know, that brother was powerful. That brother, because remember all them scriptures like that? But like he said, levels. I think I was just created to do one thing. Just chat this bitch down about death. Made this bitch die. Now the Lord gonna say what we gonna say. So like, but you know, like you said, the clothes are for real. The armor of God. Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. That's why you gotta be locked into the Lord, man. Because again, you know, we come against this devil, and this devil is attacking us. So I can see people leaving because they got not just disenchanted, they didn't want to really do it. They just doing it because, you know, or they're scary. Like, I never act like I never would make it seem like I know why this person did it. I mean, the Lord might give me something and I might be correct, but what I'm saying is like, you probably wouldn't figure out why I did half the shit I did. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of things I did, I thought we all was going to make it. Not understanding to now, recently, for real, being by myself, that no, it's set up this way for a reason. Like I said, I see why they say it's levels. And if you on a level of the elect, you're going to get what you need to get through. Everybody else wasn't of that caliber. Every product that's made ain't meant to, like, I work at a factory, right? So a lot of, like, just yesterday, a lot of parts got fucked up because it was something wrong with the machine. That's why good places that you do manufacturing, they keep maintenance there 24/7. Because if something breaks down, I worked at places where they had to call the maintenance and they had to come all the way back. You know what I mean? They got a dumbass shit like that, but you producing to make money. So yeah, of course, everything ain't gonna be made to quality, because everything wasn't meant to. The armor of the Most High, Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. Let's look up the word principalities real quick, because people think it's a motherfucking game though. The word principality means
Strong's G 746. Arche. Arche.
Is that principality? Let me look at that again. Yeah, that's it. Principality. Hey. Yeah, I'm gonna get straight to the point. It says outline of Bible uses. It says of angels and demons. So principalities represent spirits, man. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, who are the illuminated, the Luciferians, Lucifer, the light bearers, because they have the knowledge of really the world and they control the world. Against spiritual wickedness in high places. Therefore, Salaki, wherefore take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth. So we got to stay and consume, like how you love a woman, you got to love this truth and have it on the breastplate of righteousness. You got to stand on what you saying. You saying that you believe in these laws, statutes, commandments. You believe in this, believe in that. Then you got to actually do them. Don't be just sayers of the word, but doers also. I know I butchered that, Salakia. Stand therefore I read that, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherein ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And that's a gift from the Lord, your faith. I remember reading in like a Bible tract about how the dude said his shield was so small, but it was able to, stop a lot of demons. So just imagine that small individual with a huge shield of faith. Verse 16. Above all, taking the shields of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked. And, that's what, like I said, your faith is going to actually, like, I was listening to a brother, he was talking about, he recognized things turning up because he was saying how he having a lot of thoughts and he know they're not his thoughts. And, the fiery darts of Satan pretty much is those thoughts that Satan can put in your mind. If you ain't even on a level like that, is you really prepared for what's about to happen? Like, certain brothers get attacked like that. I can imagine how the elders do. That's why I know, I might not agree with everything they say, or I might not be into everything that they into, because we all, I was listening to brothers talk about that. We all lively stones. We all, individual men at the end of the day. We all just combine like Voltron and come together about this word. And you ain't got to necessarily be in the camp. And I know that for a fact because, again, certain things I just went through, brothers are speaking on, certain things I'm speaking on, they speaking on, what I mean? That's all the Spirit. Verse 17, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. And he broke it down so simply with that. When you use in the Bible, that's your sword. That's how the Messiah, who these people errantly call Jesus, whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahushua Mashiach, literally was able to combat Satan. What's that in Matthew 4? When Satan came at him when he was at a low point, when he was weak from fasting. How did he combat Satan? He didn't physically try to fight him. He used the scriptures. And when you line up the scriptures that he said to Satan, they all come from the Old Testament. So he used the Bible against a spirit. And it show you how this world was given to Satan, because Satan took him up to the mountaintop and said, I'll give you the whole world. Just bow down and worship me. And guess what? I bet you something that a lot of people ain't experienced. I said no. I ain't talking shit, but I'm just speaking facts since we doing that. And I'm nobody, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you don't think I think that thought, but guess what? I'm man enough, whatever the fuck come with this, I'm gonna take mine. You know, if I sucker punch a nigga, he sucker punch me back, hey, you know, how that go. James chapter 4, verse 7. Submit yourselves, therefore, to the Most High. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. If you stay locked in and trust in the Lord, that's a superpower, man. Don't you get that? You staying locked in with the Lord is your superpower. These scriptures is your superpower. Prophecy is a superpower, because a lot of people don't know what the fuck about to happen. You know before they know, or you able to prophesy before facade to speak, because it's all written in the scriptures. And if the Lord broke it down to give you that information and allowed you to know that, that's a blessing. And if he take it away, oh, that's so sad. That's a curse. Or, damn, the scriptures say it's better to not have known the truth, to have known the truth and pretty much leave. Because the Lord gonna fuck you up extra. Matthew chapter 18 and verse 18. And it reads, verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Again I say unto you, that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Because the power that we have of believing in the Lord, and like I said again, I was listening to something, like I said, the Spirit done had me look into some stuff that I never even, just happened to come across it. But, they got tools to measure certain stuff that we can't see with the eye. So they literally again, the most highest vibration is being authentic. If you a piece of shit, be a piece of shit. If you really truly believe in this, the world gonna know that. Book of Luke chapter 10 and verse 19. I'm going to start at verse 18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning falling from heaven. And we watching that now. Satan, meaning adversary, because this man, especially DJ Trump, is against the Most High. He said he was a Christian when he was running for office and all that. Everything he do is, he's mentioned in the Epstein files, man. Don't you know that? Wow. It says, verse 19, behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Verse 20, notwithstanding in this rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. So if you really are of the chosen of the Lord, the spirits can't actually overpower you. You got power over them. That's why he said, rejoice not that you got power over the spirits, but rejoice that because the Lord know who you is. He gave you dominion and rule. You know, the scriptures talk about how the earth was made for Israel's sake. So if you are one of the elect, you got power over the demon, no matter how much they fucking with you. Just know that. What came to mind was the elder talking about, he'd tell the demon, leave me the fuck alone. He ain't saying it like that, but you know, well, he said, like, and I can see that though, like, yeah. I'm sure that, just quick testimony. I recognized it was some demons around me at this job. I had the job for 1 week. Tell me why these motherfuckers keep fucking with me. I haven't worked at this job in like 3 months. Hold on. That's not true, but maybe like 2 months. Like what? And then they lied, just flat foot lied. I'm like, now the thing is this. The Lord could let a lie go right. Appear to be winning or whatever, again, like, I ain't gonna say, again, I listen to a lot of people. That doesn't mean I'm gonna follow everything you say, but I can recognize where the truth at. Again, and the thing is, you can see Jake Zeal and whatnot, again, it's gonna have to be, you're gonna have to have compassion while being hard-hearted. You're gonna still have to hold compassion. When there's a lack of jobs, you still gonna have to hold integrity. It's a lot to this. This is the ultimate trying of your faith. I'm gonna end it with this, the book of Psalms. And ultimately, you got to be as the Lord's elect, because He don't give no fucks about. I'm gonna say it like that. He gives no fucks about anything else. He'll use you, but that spirit of the elect is something different. It make you think about like a woman that stick with you when you can't help yourself to help you. I was asking somebody, I was like, well, they always talk about, people that stick with people when they can no longer take care of themselves. And I was thinking about, how many people leave I just saw a post, somebody posted it where it was a Jake police officer, and pretty much he remarried, and the woman pretty much got him killed for the insurance money. But she didn't get the money. The money went to the previous wife because he forgot to actually take the wife off the policy. Hey, that's some shit. And now she a suspect. But the point of me bringing it up is, most motherfuckers, especially in the Hollywood, they suck on each other energy. And, give each other the demons, pass them along, and then go. Because you got to remember, they not just fucking each other. They got to participate in that shit. If you want to be relevant, them young people, like them little kids that's playing in Spider-Man, why do you think they make them couples when they be in major movies like that? And then they got to secretly go around those people that's literally like pulling the strings behind the scenes. I just saw somebody's bringing out Dean the Great. And that's probably the spirit, because out the blue, I don't know who that dude is. I don't give a fuck who that dude is for real. But maybe because of AB and some certain shit they were saying, but they came to say that pretty much he involved with it. And I can see that. These streamers making money, like, that's the new thing. Everybody want to be a streamer. When everybody ain't going to be no motherfucking streamer. They just transitioning you from everything going to be on the internet. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 84 and verse 11. For the Lord Yahweh Shem Shah power is a sun and shield. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shah will give grace and glory. No good thing will be withholden from them that walk uprightly. Let's look up the word uprightly real quick. I'm curious. I was about to end it, but
Strong's H 8549. Tamim. It
says wholesome, unimpaired, innocent, having integrity. We can end it on that. That's the spirit, because I just did a video about integrity. So, it says no good thing will be withholden. So when you get an attack, prayer is a powerful tool that the Lord allows us to use in order to combat this left hand energy, as well as fasting, as well as, reading prayer, like It's a multitude of things for real, you know. And if you stay disciplined and consistent, and I see why the brothers really do what they do to a degree. Like I'm like, they really even they trying to be like, it's just like, you know, defenders of the gospel, and on top of it, when you ain't nobody gonna walk perfectly in this thing. No one. The only one that walked perfectly was our big brother, our Lord and Savior. But it's very spiritual what the men of the camp that I was involved with do. Like, yeah, to watch everything and all that. Now, everybody watching everybody. So now you can't really say shit, but that's why you got to be on your square. You got to, you know, the thing is, when you're in a position of power, you got to be, you know, like, literally, like, you the example. That's why, what's that, Ecclesiastes or Sirach chapter 10 says, as the judge of the city is, so is as the judge is, so is the rest of the city, or roughly paraphrase. So I'm going to end a lesson there. Yeah, you know, again, we in beautiful times. Pray to stay locked in, you know. Like brothers keep on saying, they making these little jokes, and I feel about like, shit, I wouldn't know what to do if I went back in the world. Like, I'm going a killing spree. Like I mean, I'm with a box cutter. I mean, that was a joke. You can't even joke nowadays. You know? They hanging niggas, but you can't even. You got to watch. You see how fucked up this is? You got to watch what you said, because they could say, "Oh, you didn't," but they not putting no energy into finding these people that. And when you got all this technology, though, I remember when they found these young niggas that pointed the pistol at the police. They wouldn't found them niggas, but you can't find who's hanging all these so-called black people. Pray that the Lord protect you and that stay locked in, if you of the hopeful elect. May the Lord watch over you and your households. May the Lord watch over, you know, the leadership, the true men of Yasharallah, you know, because without them we will be lost. So what's that saying? Protect them at all costs. And with that, I'm going to turn to East and give all praises, all honor, and all glory to Ka'alayim La Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushai, Ba'Hashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders, to the apostles, whom I learned this truth from. Peace and salutations to the Akim, across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith, with sincerity, as well as risking their lives, as well as the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and Akwat that are listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, that subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Until next time, Lord willingly, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah and Mawak Lababal.